shall cross the barren desert, but you shall not die of thirst. You shall wander far in safety, though you do not know the way. You shall speak your words in foreign lands, and all will understand. You shall see the face of God and live. Be not afraid. I go before you always. Come, follow me, and I will give you rest. If you pass through raging waters, in the sea you shall not drown. If you walk amid the burning flames, you shall not be harmed. If you stand before the power of hell and death is at your side, know that I am with you through it all. Be not afraid. I go before you always. Come, follow me, and I will give you rest. Blessed are your poor, for the kingdom shall be theirs. Blessed are you that weep and mourn, for one day you shall laugh. And if wicked men insult and hate you all because of me, blessed, blessed are you. Be not afraid. I go before you always. Come, follow me, and I will give you rest.
Well, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome. My name is Reverend Sal Sapienza, and I'm the pastor here at the United Church of Rowayton. We are a proudly open and affirming congregation of the United Church of Christ. And we're gathered here today in our beautiful and sacred space to honor and remember the life and spirit of Charlotte Rose. Today, in word, in prayer, and in song, we will remember and honor Charlotte, and we will celebrate her life well lived. For today's service, Charlotte's family has created a playlist of beautiful music, beginning with that lovely prelude we just heard from Harry Connick Jr. The insert of your program today has the lyrics for all of those beautiful songs, and we hope that you will follow along and maybe even sing along to the songs as they're played throughout the service today. So let us begin our celebration of life this afternoon by turning our minds and hearts to God in prayer. Loving God, we gather together here in the protective shelter of your healing love to honor and celebrate the life of Charlotte Rose. Here among family and friends, we gather to hear words of hope and comfort and to commend to you with great thanksgiving the life of your faithful servant Charlotte, who dwells with you now in the company of angels and saints. Amen. Would you please stand now if you are able and join me in reciting the Lord's Prayer. The words are printed in your program. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen. You may please be seated.
I, the Lord of sea and sky, I have heard my people cry, all who dwell in dark and sin, my hand will save. I who made the stars of night, I will make their darkness bright. Who will bear my light to them? Whom shall I send? Here I am, Lord. Is it I, Lord? I have heard you calling in the night. I will go, Lord, if you lead me. I will hold your people in my heart. I, the Lord of snow and rain, I have borne my people's pain. I have wept for love of them. They turn away. I will break their hearts of stone, give them hearts for love alone. I will speak my word to them. Whom shall I send? Here I am, Lord. Is it I, Lord? daily bread I will provide, till their hearts be satisfied. I will give my life to them. Whom shall I send? Here I am, Lord. Is it I, Lord? I have heard you calling in the night. I will go, Lord, if you lead me. I will hold your people in my heart. Oh, I will hold your people in my heart.
Our first reading will be read for us now by Charlotte's grandson, Sean Brophy.
The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in green pastures. He leadeth me beside still waters. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, thy comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil, my cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever.
Our second reading is an untitled poem by Erin Hansen, and it will be read for us now by Maureen Biss.
An untitled poem of hope by Erin Hansen. May it remain always a mystery what starts after our ending, and have it be truth of life that death evades our comprehending. Whether there comes darkness or the light or something more, may the only certainty be that we can never be sure. In this unknowing, there is space for both great sorrow and great laughter. The room to hope for what comes next and live as though there's nothing after. May it be when all is known, we've mapped each work above and under, that there is still this one thing left which will ignite our sense of wonder. So when we reach our life's far border, mixed with that all too human fear, may there be joy to have the chance to learn that last unknown frontier.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue and clouds of white, the bright blessed day, sacred night, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people going by. I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. I hear babies cry. I watch them grow. They learn much more than I ever knew. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Yes, I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Ooh, yeah.
Well, in the Gospel of John, chapter 11, verse 52, we hear these words. Jesus says, I am the resurrection and the life. All who believe in me, though they shall die, they shall live forever. Though our beloved Charlotte is no longer here with us on the physical plane, our faith tells us that she is still very much alive, alive in spirit, alive in our hearts, alive in all those who knew her and who loved her. I'm pretty sure that I'm the only one here in this church today who never got to meet Charlotte. But I'm so grateful for the time that I spent recently with her daughter Mimi and son-in-law Chris, who shared beautiful photos and stories with me of Charlotte's amazing life. She was a remarkable woman whose long life of 97 years was filled with determination and courage and curiosity, independence and love. Charlotte grew up during the hardship of the Great Depression. And that was a period, I'm sure, that shaped her character and instilled in her the values of hard work and self-reliance. And long before it became common to do so, Charlotte spoke openly about the importance of recognizing the value of women in the workplace. She encouraged others to be strong and independent, and it seemed that she lived by those principles each and every day. But Charlotte's life was about much more than work. She was also someone who embraced the world with enthusiasm and with adventure. Throughout her travels, she explored many corners of the globe, meeting people and gaining experiences that enriched her life. In her later years, Charlotte found joy on the golf course. As a proud member of the Silvermine Golf Club, she loved spending time on the links with her Niners group. The friendships that she built there and throughout her life were deeply meaningful to her, and she cherished those connections. Her greatest love, however, was her family. Charlotte, known lovingly as Gran, was deeply immersed in her grandchildren's lives. She followed their adventures with pride and with delight, always ready with a listening ear and some thoughtful advice. And I'm sure those conversations, those moments of guidance will remain with them forever. Though we mourn Charlotte's passing, we also celebrate the incredible life that she had and the legacy that she leaves behind in her family, in her friendships, and in the example she set for all who knew her. So before we hear from the people who knew her best, her family, I would like to read some messages that we received from those who knew her. This is a note from Charlotte's dear friend, Franca Mulligan. She writes, "Dear Mimi, your mother was and is a very good friend and a special person. We had lots of fun together, and I'm praying for her to be well and safe. She will be missed and remembered as a wise and caring person. Sending love and prayers for you, dear Charlotte. I will miss you, Franca." And this is a note from Avril Christian, Charlotte's home health aide for 4 years. "Today I say goodbye to a truly sweet and gentle person. It was a blessing and an honor for me to care for her. She was always kind and peaceful, and I never saw anger in her, only warmth and grace. She touched my heart in a very special way. Though I will miss her dearly, I trust that she is resting peacefully and in the arms of the Lord Jesus. As the Bible says in Matthew 5, verse 8, 'Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God.' May her soul rest in eternal peace. I love you, Charlotte Rose. I will miss you dearly. These are words I will never forget. It is what it is, and all is well. Goodbye once again, Charlotte Rose." Now I'd like to invite Charlotte's family to come up and to share some words of remembrance with us.
It's a little overwhelming to stand here in front of all of you. I owe so many people a thank you. Pastor Sal for welcoming us in, Avril Christians and Layla Doza for taking care of my mother for many years, Claire Balkite, who treated my mother as if she was her own, and everyone who came to visit my mother regularly and make her feel very special and important, and everyone who consistently asked about her and sent her love. All of the Brophies who spent so many holidays and special occasions with her, all of you who traveled here to be with us, my mother's dear club gals, my kids, and especially Chris, who has helped me out through the good, the bad, and the challenging. I was sitting with my mother about 2 months ago, as I did every afternoon, and I was telling her about a New York Times article that I read that stated only 0.01% of the global population is 95 or older. And I said to her, "Imagine that, Mom. You are part of the 0.01%. You are amazing." And as you all know, she was. Most of you know the summary of her life, but let me fill in a few blanks. You all know she was born into a challenged family, but what you may not know is that my grandmother was the head maid for a wealthy family, the Fiddlers. Well, one day my mother had to go to work with her mother, and Mrs. Fiddler said to my mom that she would teach my mother to be a great head maid, meaning it as a compliment. My mother, however, was not pleased, and she told Mrs. Fiddler that one day she was going to have her own maids, not be one. And thus began her quest to rise out of poverty and become a powerful force. She told me about several men she dated and a few who proposed to her. She turned them down because she was afraid that they would never rise from the poor neighborhood she grew up in. When I asked her why she married my father, she said that she was confident that they could make some money together. I've always described my parents' marriage kind of like the Clintons, great business partners, but not such great marriage partners. What are you going to do? You can't have everything. My mother's house in Darien was a great source of pride. My mother just loved being in her home. And as time went on, she did not want to leave it, ever. And we were lucky enough to be able to honor that wish right to her last day. My mother had several names in her life. She was born Sesha Kovaleski, married Charlotte de Berardinis, and later changed that to Charlotte Rose. And in case anybody is wondering where Rose came from, she claimed it was her middle name. Of course, she was also Mom, Aunt Charlotte, Mrs. D, my favorite, Mrs. Mimi, and her favorite title of all, Grant. This is the hard part. These last 30 years, my mother has been a part of our everyday life. The kids have celebrated everything there is to celebrate with my mother, and Chris has graciously included her in every Brophy occasion we have ever hosted. We're so fortunate to have had my mother in our lives for so long, and so fortunate that she was herself right to her dying day. As a matter of fact, when we knew the end was near and all of the kids came home to be with her, we had the good fortune of having a few days to share together with her. And for those who truly knew my mother, you knew that patience was not necessarily her strong point. One of those afternoons, she picked her head up and she looked at all of us and she said, "This business of waiting to die is just ridiculous." I think what she meant by that is that we should not be sad when we think about her. I think my mother would like us to remember her with a smile on her face, her sunglasses and her lipstick on, and to congratulate her on a life well lived.
Hi. First, I want to echo what you'll hear as the rest of my family say thank you to all of you for being here. There were moments over the last several years where it seemed like my grandmother's world had shrunk around her, and it's a gift to see her world so big in this room. Last night at the wake, Erica pointed out that my gran had been really our only living grandparent. And it's true, she wore a lot of hats, mostly of the baseball variety, as the single grandparent holding down the fort. She was in charge of being a soft spot to land and also of offering direct advice, of spoiling her grandchildren while also teaching them life's lessons. My grandmother was warm and devoted, soft, but not ooey gooey, at least not until Sean came along. She was sporty, opinionated, matter of fact. She filled us with truths and encouraged us to be outspoken about our own. She was a world of grandparent goodness wrapped all in one. Several years ago, I read this book called Nobody Will Tell You This But Me. And if you've ever had the gift of having a grandmother, and especially if you've had the gift of having a grandmother with a soft spot for, well, you, it's worth a read. There's some life advice in this book that could have come straight out of my grand's mouth, like, if you're having a rotten day, go buy yourself an ice cream soda and a new hat. Except for my gran, it'd be an ice cream sundae and maybe a new pair of white sneakers. You'd read, everyone needs the dress that makes her feel like she's able to do anything she wants. Except for my gran, it'd be a perfectly tailored pantsuit. Not one for a fuss, she was classy, but also practical. I will always remember the card my grandmother wrote me on my 24th birthday. It said, "Be caring of yourself, you come from good stock." She might have also written, as it is said in the book, "Always remember, you come from strong women," and I do. I am the only daughter of a true force of will. In this book, The grandmother tells her granddaughter before she dies, "I will always be with you. You just have to listen a little harder." I'm so lucky that I saved 104 emails from my gran, who graduated from typewriter to iPad in her mid-80s. Here's the voice I will hear when I listen for it. "We are planning a family tournament, girls versus boys. I look forward to our team taking theirs on. I think of you each day. I send mental telepathic hugs. I bet 6 horses and 3 of them came in 1, 2, 3. Your gran can still pick them. I love you. You are with me each day. Be good to you." The subject of an email: "Yo, nice work. I thought you would like a little note from your ever-loving G. Heard you are snowed in. I would like to go sleigh riding, but no sled. So I'm making chicken something or other. I'll figure out what it will turn out to be later." What I'd like to leave her with is her own words, shared back to her. "Your message means so much to me. It will sustain me forever. If I need a boost, sometimes I'll read it again and again. I send my love to you always, but you already know that."
Hi, everybody. Thank you to everyone for being here, and for those who couldn't be here as well, but shared a love towards my grandmother. I think myself, Kelly, and Sean were incredibly lucky as grandkids. To have Gran as such an enormous staple of our lives, something that I will forever appreciate. Every birthday, sporting events ranging from summer baseball to winter ski racing, Christmas Eve at her house, and an endless amount of memories were something that we were so lucky to share with her. Gran was always present, excited to hear our rambling stories, and participated in so much of our lives with excitement and love. We shared many, many memories. I think everybody here is very aware of Gran's brilliant mind, quick wit, and wonderful independence. As I moved from college and into adulthood, we would find ourselves talking about our favorite stocks or how my career in finance was going. She would ask about the people I worked with and how I was treated by my bosses, giving advice on how to advocate for myself. As I transitioned into a business owner, she asked me questions that only a business owner themselves would ever think about. Again, she also asked about if I had good people working for me. Underneath that giant brain of hers was a heart filled with empathy for those she loved, and she always made sure we filled our world with these good people. Considering she was such a core person in my life, I know I did a good job finding the good people. Over the last few days, I've spent more time thinking about earlier memories, though. The Brophy grandkids would often have sleepovers at Gran's house. Luckily, for my parents' sake, we were just as happy for them to take a night off from us as we were to take a night off from them. The rules on no more TV or screen time or bedtime at 9 o'clock stopped existing once we watched my parents drive off down the long driveway of Brookside Road. Evenings playing tag around the house, piano concerts, and watching movies were constants for us. Earlier this week, I thought about how she had learned how to record on a VHS tape, television movie that she had heard me mention that I really liked. We watched that movie a lot. Every sleepover was crowned with a bowl of ice cream. She always had a gallon, if not 2, of my favorite, cherry vanilla ice cream in her freezer. The only question in this ritual was which sprinkles we decided would be best that day. That time, with us together at her kitchen table, eating ice cream, is an unforgettable image for me. On our last days with Gran, we found ourselves around her bedside discussing dinner plans. As our family weighed options of where to go as she was getting ready to sleep, South Norwalk came up. Despite her exhaustion, her head picked up. There's a great restaurant on the corner there. She was talking about Donovan's, the restaurant we often went to together, right across the street from the Maritime Aquarium. We went on many field trips together to the aquarium and would end with lunch at Donovan's. I was amazed by her recollection and filled with love thinking of those memories together. Our final phone call together was on our way back from a doctor's appointment. She didn't want to go, but was rewarded for it with a cup of ice cream, vanilla with hot fudge. The doctor's appointment forgotten, just a happy grandmother on the phone, enjoying her treat and our conversation. It's funny how things come full circle. We're back to happy moments being shared over a mouthful of ice cream once again. Read something by a brilliant philosopher the other day. His name's Winnie the Pooh. He said to his friend Piglet, "How lucky am I to have something that makes saying goodbye so hard? I'm so lucky." These memories and shared moments will be remembered and cherished endlessly.
Hello again. All right, to start things off, like Kelly and Chris, I want to thank everyone for taking the time to be here today and yesterday. It truly means a lot to myself and my family to see so many people who cared about my grandmother. She really was a special lady. So special, in fact, that it's hard for me to describe to you in just a few short words how unique she was. So I decided to focus on just a small part of her personality, one that's kind of fitting for a day like today. And one that I got more used to experiencing towards the end of her life, which was the way she said goodbye. When I was little, I remember hearing a lot of chows and the occasional dobranoc. Sorry, Polish people, for that pronunciation. But as I got older, she seemed to take a liking to take care as her goodbye of choice. Take care is an interesting phrase. Gives the recipient a lot of comfort, more than a traditional goodbye would. And it gives a call to action, take care. On the other hand, it does feel a little directionless. Who am I taking care of and how? While there are a lot of ways to interpret what take care really means, I think there are two in particular that best reflect the way that my grandma lived her life. First and foremost, to take care of business. I think this one was Gran's favorite. One of the first things I remember learning about Gran over the course of my childhood was how she took care of business. Her house was an embodiment of her accomplishments and the respect that she cultivated over her career. As a kid, if I was brave enough to go up the stairs and walk through the maze of hallways, I could find her library. This room was fit with a balcony that gave a pretty remarkable view of the grand piano sitting in her living room, and it had a lot of old, fancy-looking books. This was my favorite part of the whole house, and I promised myself that I would have a balcony inside of my house when I grew up. I also promised myself that one day I would find whatever clue she'd left behind to her hidden treasure, because there's no way in a room like that, in a house like that she wouldn't have a clue to a hidden treasure somewhere. As I grew up and heard more tales of her working days, it became more apparent that it took a special type of woman to earn that kind of house. She was no doubt the most intelligent person in any room, and there was nobody that could tell her any different. A lot of her stories ended with, "So I said, screw you," and that was that. Which I laughed at as a kid, but admired far more as I grew older. Driving back from baseball games in Stanford, it would take my mom about 30 seconds to find and point out a building that Gran owned, and my siblings and I would hear tales of her vast stock portfolio and maybe be lucky enough to catch a glance at a spreadsheet sitting at her table in the kitchen every once in a while. While her business duties softened in her later years, her stubbornness and strong-willed nature certainly did not. It manifested itself in other ways, and whenever it did, we would all share glances and give a soft smile. There were also certain stories that would evoke a similar response from us. I won't tell the story, but one of my favorites involved my grandma giving her dog a name that had no S's in it because a certain group of people couldn't pronounce their S's, which my dad and I really liked. Regardless, her unwavering and indomitable spirit made her a remarkable presence and gave her more than enough strength to take care of herself and her loved ones, which brings me to the second interpretation of taking care. A brief pause. To take care of others. I was lucky enough to be the recipient of many good humor bars from Gran and was tucked in extra tight during my sleepovers at her house. However, I think the clearest example of my grandma's care for others is reflected in the way that my mom took care for her in return. I had an interesting perspective being around for the majority of my mom's care for my grandma in the past 10 or 15 years. Every single day, without fail, my mom was at my grandma's, making sure everything around the house was in order and that my grandma was happy. On vacations, my mom's day wouldn't really start until she had called Gran to say good morning. Multiple times this summer, when my mom would leave the room and it was just Gran and I, a lot of our conversations would shift to talking about how lucky the both of us were to have my mom. To have someone who cared about us so much and who was willing to sacrifice pieces of her life to make sure that the two of us, and Kelly and Chris, were happy. Gran was a woman of many requests, and she'd be very proud to say that my mom filled every single one of those requests. Today is Gran's day, but there is no story of Gran's life that is complete without my mom right at the center of it. My grandma can rest easy, knowing that this quality of taking care of others has been passed fully on to my mom, and that she lives and breathes this quality every day. Thank you, Mom, and take care, Gran.
Sure. How do you follow that act? All of them. Wow. Again, on behalf of our entire family, we'd like to thank everyone for supporting us during this time and for being here to pay tribute to a long life well lived. Our prayers today should also include prayers of gratitude for the medical team that ushered Charlotte through hospice care and the tremendous home health aides over the years, particularly Avril and Layla, for their love, comfort, and devotion right to the end. To know Charlotte was to know that she liked things done her way, including how she said farewell. And we would not have expected nor wanted it any other way. So over the years, Charlotte would do this little mime dance with her favorite son-in-law. Yankee Red Sox. She would toss one of these at the Yankee fan. The Red Sox are going to come back and win 5-3. And as the Giant fan, we started calling Tom Brady her boyfriend because she rooted for the Patriots. Now with the Yankees, I was pretty good most of the time. But aside from a couple of Super Bowls, she usually had me with the Patriots. Now, here we are, celebrating the life of this strong, independent Polish woman on St. Patrick's Day. I could declare that I won this one, but she did love corned beef and cabbage. And she did love the hearty gatherings that came with being married into a big Irish family. I'm thinking she calculated the Kalshi predictive markets and bet the house on March 17th celebration of Charlotte. Now I could stand here and read the quarterly report of Charlotte and expound on how frustrating intelligent she was, how she had a memory like a steel trap, that Nostradamus was the junior varsity compared to Charlotte's predictions, that she wrote the original book of advice, but that would just be a son-in-law sucking it up. Her convictions were strong, and she was usually very happy to share a "this is what you should do" opinion on pretty much any topic with anyone.
The issue was, unlike a lot of people who know a little bit about some things, Charlotte knew a lot about a lot of things. And much to my chagrin, she was right most of the time. You know, when you get married and you choose to live within 2 miles of your mother-in-law, you're pretty much just signing up for the occasional visit, affectionately known as the pop-in. To her credit, these visits were always announced. The front door would open, and she would whistle. Visit announced. Initially, these were the "I just had lunch with Joan" pop-ins, to say hi, offer advice on the best way to do something, or "the gold rug in my attic would work well here, you should take it." But as the family grew, and Kelly and Chris arrived, the volume of pop-ups had neighbors asking if I had purchased the white Lincoln in the driveway. Years of hindsight have taught me these visits were her way of filling herself up with the love she felt as part of our home. I like to think she liked the way our family lived and loved. And over the nearly 37 years, she enjoyed being woven deeper and deeper into that story and that love. She could not get enough of her grandkids, and she was their biggest advocate. The quick grand visits turned into sleepovers at Grands, which turned into sideline viewing and an amazement at the amount of activities that ensued, to life and career advice and a true interest in every aspect of their lives. When she found out that we had decided our family was not yet complete with 2 children, it created a bit of angst for her. Why would you have 3 when you have the girl and boy combo settled? Well, that sentiment quickly melted away. When Sean came along, oh my, clear the driveway. She could not resist the possibility of Sean's request. Milk and sit on the couch with me? A new life purpose, renewed rounds of visits, sleepovers, baseball games, and life guidance that just continued to feed her life. 3 reasons to stay around as long as she could, to be part of those young, promising lives and the love that surrounded her. In the recent years, when limited to her shrinking world, she just couldn't get enough of their visits or calls. She just wanted to know, and what else? Tell me more, share your life, and she just absorbed it. I've searched my mind past days, and I truly can't recall a day that the daily phone call between Mimi and Charlotte took place or did not take place. Usually in the morning, but at some point every day, no matter where we were in the world. Just a check-in, just a connection. Mimi recently told her we were going to give Chris a hand in Colorado for a week. So every day that call took place, but not from Colorado. We were in Copenhagen. Mimi didn't want her worrying about us being so far away, so the calls were filled with the white lies of what we did with Chris that day, the faux skiing that we did that day. Over the last years, life has been filled with the reverse pop-in. Daughter visits mother. Again, pretty much every single day if we were within the borders of Darien or hadn't left yet to be away. Just true, unconditional love by Mimi to care for and continue filling up Mom's heart and life. Simple visits with convertible cruises, ice creams, walks around the pool deck, and memories. Though she rarely asked for these visits, Charlotte always expressed an audible appreciation and a hearty thank you for the sacrifice of time to enrich her life. And my love, you can carry with you every day of our lives, how you honored her. I know there's an emptiness in the missing phone calls. In our GPS AI world, it is difficult to ignore the navigation prompt on the car, instantly directing you to Brookside Road at a certain time. But we know that time will give us the perspective of what an amazing life we've just witnessed, and that will fill our hearts. So, we are happy for the gift that is Charlotte, and we are happy for the gift, those final moments of conversations with all of us present and around her. Those last pop-ins were so important to her, and even more importantly, to fill us up with another chapter of memories and love that we can take with us on life's journeys. Rest in peace.
Well, thank you all for such beautiful tributes, and thank you everyone for being here today to honor and to celebrate Charlotte. The Brophies would like to invite all of you to a reception now at their home in Darien, and you'll find the address and information about parking in your program today. Let us conclude our service now by once again turning our minds and hearts to God in prayer. God of love, we thank you for the life of our beloved Charlotte Rose. We are grateful for all the wonderful, loving, fun, and beautiful times that we had with her. In our times of sadness, when we miss Charlotte, help us to recall her smile, her laughter, her life, and her spirit. We are so blessed to have known her. We are so blessed to carry on some part of her. And from such blessing, we give thanks for her life, which has gifted our own. Amen.
You dwell in the shelter of the Lord, who abide in his shadow for life. Say to the Lord, my refuge, my rock in whom I trust, and he will raise you up on eagle's wings, bear you on the breath of dawn, make you to shine like the sun, and hold you in the palm of his hand. The snare of the fowler will never capture you, and the famine will bring you no fear. Under his wings find refuge, his faithfulness your shield. You need not fear the terror of the night, nor the arrow shall not come, and he will raise you up on eagle's wings. Bear you on the breath of dawn, make you to shine like the sun, and hold you in the palm. You shall cross the barren desert, but you shall not die of thirst. You shall wander far in safety, though you do not know the way. You shall speak your words in foreign lands, and all will understand. You shall see the face of God and live. I go before you always. Come, follow me, and I will give you rest. Blessed are your poor, for the kingdom shall be theirs. Blessed are you that weep and mourn, for one day you shall laugh. And if wicked tongues insult and hate you, all because of me, blessed, blessed